Yeah,
Yeah.
we're naturally we were trying to stream back to our Facebook group again tonight, and it ain't working. I'm about ready. I'm about ready to say. Well, I can't say it, but heck with it.
Yeah.
So if anybody's up here, share it to Down South group. That would help us out, or to any group. We don't care. Just share it and like it. It'd be great.
Just share it and like it.
So I was telling Riley. Well, I showed him that picture about basically being the Conjuring house, and he told me you guys did a show on it. So,
Yep.
What's the deal?
All right. So pretty much, there was the controversy between Satori and Cody and their tapping method a while back at the Conjuring house. And they, if you don't know who Cody and Satori is, a lot of people that may follow the paranormal community and stuff like that, Satori is the daughter of Jason Halls of Ghost Hunters. Yeah. And they have this method that they do, but a lot of people are like disproving it, calling it fake. And this happened approximately, I don't know, coming up on probably 6 to 9 months ago. And so there was controversy there, but the Conjuring house was sold 2 or 3 years back to the woman that owns it today. She has no prior paranormal experience from my knowledge.
Right.
Yeah. So, but she was spiritual. And so she got into the thick of this, and, evidently what's being said is she's using like the spirit box or some type of spiritual communication to get information about people. Well, this lady has taken over one of the most notoriously haunted places with dark energies that have been there. Personally, I feel there's a dark entity in the basement myself, and there's a portal down there. But they're really, and whether she's lying or not, I'm not going to say, either way. But I truly do believe that this woman has been being tricked by an entity, if what she's saying is true. Because, spirit box communication, it's not always negative. But from my opinion, and it may be just from my perspective, that when you start conversating with spirits through the spirit box and not directly through your spiritual connection, sometimes you're conversating with lower vibrational beings or entities. And yes, so basically she's opened herself up to a can of worms that she's really not prepared for, and everybody in the house is suffering. Because guys, what happens when you have a haunted house? They don't want you in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my take on it. Really briefly, everybody so there's a video. So yes, on Lights at Midnight, that's my psychic paranormal podcast I host with Emily, the fine art medium, on my other channel. So yeah, I've got 3 channels or whatever, so that's just the one that's my collab channel with Emily, and we covered both topics. At first I believed Cody and Satori, and now I'm kind of torn, because I did see a spirit woman with them when they were doing this knocking method. I do see spirits around them, and I see their energy, but it's really hard to say these days. There's just been so much evidence. Just because they're faking it doesn't mean spirits aren't going to be around them. So I'm on the fence about it. I like to support people in the paranormal community because, the work that I do is almost unbelievable as it is. Like the things that I say, people can call me a liar left and right, but you put me under a lie detector test. I know I'm going to pass, because I only speak what happens. But I can't say the same for everybody else. So they resigned. So Cody and Satori and the other members of the Conjuring house, many of them resigned. And she's not paying. Yeah, she's not. She's saying that she fired them. She left a really nasty note about the paranormal community in a way, saying like, if you're not for the Conjuring house, then FUCKU. And just she's kind of erratic. She's a woman. She's got money. She's got deep pockets. She's treating these employees. She's not paying them, so her pockets may not be that deep anymore. Personally, people have went against me on this, but I personally think that if this does go to court, it could start messing up other things make a ripple through the paranormal community, where the government, because once you do that, you're technically taking the time of the government, and that kind of stuff don't fly. I think that there's different parallels and different ways things can happen. But if they're going to do this, it's a potential that there could be a ripple throughout the paranormal community, and there could be rules and regulations. And, it's a highly unregulated industry, and it shouldn't
Oh
be
yeah.
regulated, but it's a
Yeah.
potential and a possibility because of what has happened. So it's kind of crazy, but the lady, she could be using it as an excuse, but honestly, I don't think she is. I think she truly believes this. She's being driven mad by some type of energy. And I don't think the spirits in the Conjuring house like her very much. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the whole deal about not paying. I don't think Riley said something. There was a comment about she hadn't paid the folks. Who really knows? We're really not there. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you're going off of hearsay. If she's not paying them because something about them, she thought they were stealing something.
Yeah.
What is there to steal unless she's pocketing money when people pay cash for investigations
right.
or something? I don't know.
She said there was a spirit in the house telling her that the staff was stealing from her.
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly. And that's what she thinks. And they've got the receipts. So say, they were showing like text messages of how nasty she was. She's disappearing for like 2 weeks at a time, not
Oh
showing
wow.
up at her own establishment. It's just really messy. And it seems like no matter whatever Cody and Satori are doing, if you believe it or you don't, nobody deserves to be treated that way by their employer. I've been in situations
Yeah.
where I've been accused of things that I would never do by people that just didn't like me. And sometimes when
Oh
you're an
yeah.
individual where you go in there, y'all have all probably seen this in the workplace. There's somebody goes in there, busts their tail, they do what they're supposed to do, but if they have a bad day or they can't keep up, you're the bad guy, and everybody else that slacks off tends to like generally get away with it, and they all start pointing fingers at you. It's kind of like one of those situations
Correct.
with
Yeah.
the Conjuring house. And that's a very short summary of
Hey
kind
Edna,
of
how are
what
you?
we covered. But yeah, it's getting kind of thick, and I support the boycott honestly because I don't want to support a business, nor do I want to pay that much money to go there for a place that's so small that is doing what they're doing. I mean, it's 1,500. If you're a YouTuber, if you have less than 15,000 subscribers, the price is different, but they
Ah,
base it on how many subscribers you have. And if you were to go film it, like let's say me and you and another paranormal team all got the money together and went up to Rhode Island and filmed, only two of us could film. Oh, sorry, that's my other phone. I need to mute. But yeah, it's
phone.
kind of crazy. Made it extra touristy. This is what happens to a place when somebody that true may have a passion for the paranormal but have no clue what they're getting into.
Ah, yeah, that's a pretty awesome place. Like I said, we talked about it going this year, and then we were like, heck, we've been so busy. We would like to go next year, but I don't know. I didn't like that. Well, people could say it about us too, but I didn't like what's the two young guys who are really popular. They went,
Sam and Colby.
yeah, Sam and Colby. That knocking deal, man. I don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't believe it, but let me just be the first one to tell you, I've experienced and seen some things I didn't believe, but I can't explain them neither. So,
Yeah.
Right.
so
And that's the thing where we actually try to do better. We try to debunk most of the stuff we get. And
Yeah.
most of the time we just can't.
yeah, some things you can't. It seems like when you are able to debunk something, it's really easy. It's something bam right in your face. But
Yeah.
some of this stuff, guys have gotten so good at the scripts and social media that man, they can hide things pretty darn well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy. I mean, it truly is. You have to be a very honest person to do this type of work and release content. And I mean, even at that, some of the things are questionable. And I've noticed a lot of paranormal investigators leave it up to, interpretation, and everybody's going to interpret that
Yeah.
information differently. Um,
Yeah.
and for those, I did link my Appalachian Nightmare, our Appalachian Nightmare to this tonight.
Oh yeah.
For those that may be just coming in, we're just talking about the Conjuring house drama, a little bit of that, and I'm sure we've got some cool things coming up too. But we'll
Yeah,
get to
we
that in a
do.
bit.
So who up here's who in our small group has been to the Conjuring house? Is anybody that we know? I know you've been, maybe not physically, but I guarantee you've been, haven't you?
Myself?
Yeah,
Oh no. Well, yeah. Oh yeah. I've been there spiritually.
yeah,
I've looked into it. I haven't had the chance to go. Now I went to Connecticut to meet the real Annabelle back in 2021, and that was an experience to say the least. Like that, I
Yeah,
did a whole podcast about that too. But it's been so long, and really a lot of people haven't even heard about it. But
what
I mean,
was
the
it?
Conjuring House,
the
the
real
real Annabelle doll.
Annabelle.
Okay, yeah,
And that was, yeah, there's a big story about that. Um, going on. It's a long story, but I've rode through Rhode Island, but I've never been to the Conjuring House.
Yeah,
yeah. I have a I don't know. Stomach. If you're part of the paranormal stuff like we are, you enjoy it, you like it, you're really invested in it heavily, whether that
yeah,
be financially or just live and breathe it like Riley does.
yeah,
And like we all do, let's just face it. If you didn't like the paranormal, you wouldn't be up here tonight. That goes for the
Right.
people watching.
yeah,
So it really kind of pisses you off when you see people and you know darn well these guys, they got millions of followers
yeah,
and they're faking, you know, lots of it. Um, and some of it's probably not all scripted for sure or fake, but I think it hurts. It hurts the whole. It hurts what we're trying to do
yeah,
to connect, to explain, to debunk, to figure things out in the paranormal world.
yeah,
What's right and what's wrong, but people as a whole feed off of all that. I mean, that's what gets the
yeah,
ratings up, and that's what gets those guys paid. So as long as that keeps happening, I guess it probably won't change no time soon.
yeah, probably not.
Exactly.
I mean, look, there's been cases just a few weeks ago when Angel, or myself, Riley, Angel, Halo, and Robbie, we went to a place that we've had some serious things happen before,
Yeah,
and we were recording too, but truthfully, we haven't shown any of it just because it's just, I don't know. You feel like you're just taking up people's time.
yeah,
But we could have faked it. You're in the pitch black dark. It just shows you we could have done some serious faking,
yeah,
but we didn't because we don't roll that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
do you mind if I just briefly say that I joined the live 2 weeks ago? I've been doing off camera because, I just haven't felt well between being sick and the passing of my mom. And it's just keeps a little less stress off of me and my body, and
sure,
I hate that I'm not coming on, video, but I'm trying to show up and be here. And,
yeah,
but I do want to say that I did join 2 weeks ago and I wanted to make a little snippet video, but I'm not going to because it was quite interesting what I shared. Like it surprised me even still to this day when I get information about the blinking light and the spirit down in the basement and y'all went up there and y'all did say I asked y'all if that basement flooded because I saw
yeah,
water when I visited it. Y'all were
yeah.
like, probably not, but when y'all went, you said parts of it had
There,
water
there was
standing.
there was water on one end of the hall everywhere
yeah,
at the end of the hallway and as soon as we went in there, I just started laughing. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
yeah. He said something to me about it.
Yeah, there's water there. We had lights. There was a light in the basement that turned off, and
Wow.
one was blinking.
No
So
way.
lot of things that you said. Like I said, y'all, she's never been there before. I promise, she's
Nope.
never been to
I
this
don't
place.
even, yeah, I don't
But
know what the inside looks like until last week.
yeah, she described it to certain the things that you described, or I can take you right to it without a
Yeah,
doubt,
Wow.
without a
Well,
doubt.
the thing is, I know there's paranormal activity there, but for me to get that strong of a connection, that don't always happen. It only happens when something's trying to connect back in a way too. I mean, I can push for it, but this was very vivid. I was literally not planning on joining the live. It only been a few days since my mom had passed, and I was like, wait a minute, this is coming through heavy. I need to share it. And I had planned on going, but it just didn't work out because it was a little further than I expected to drive with the vehicle and stuff. But there was
Yeah.
a guy, the vision I first got was the blinky lights. And then there
Yeah.
was like a spirit there that looked like a zombie. And every time the light would blink and turn off, he would get closer in the dark until he finally stood right in front of my face. And I could see him so very clearly. And he literally sniffed me like animalistically. It was gross, actually. But I noticed that the spirit is shy. Like, so when there's more than one person or like more than a few people, where specifically in the basement where the lights are blinking, he'll get in the corner and like hunch down and grab his knees and stuff. That's what I saw about the basement. And then upstairs in the balcony at this place, I saw a shadow in my mind's eye pacing back and forth, back and forth. And then on the stage, I saw a guy, which Halo messaged me about and said that she's actually seen a guy similar in her mind's eye that was kind of cheeky, kind of thicker guy, you know, like with a sweater
Yeah.
vest and some black rimmed glasses. So I know there's spirits where y'all went.
No doubt.
It's just
And
weird.
Riley and I know, and what you're saying makes perfect sense because the last two times we've been, we've had several people, which is okay. That's what we wanted. But it's kind of, well, last time really it wasn't. When we went a week or so, was it the last weekend or it was the weekend before?
Weekend before last.
When we went, it wasn't as bad as I'm making it out to be because as soon as we walked in, I saw a shadow figure at the top of the stairs that you turn and go up into the balcony. As soon as we walked that way, kind of showing Angel and
Wow.
Robbie a little tour, and then Robbie ended up seeing a shadow figure. So he was getting a little communication going. As soon as we got in the basement, that was where we went first. We just seems like we always start in the basement and work our way back up at night or as the night goes on.
Yeah.
Angel set up his portal, and I mean, it man, for 35, 40 minutes, he was getting solid communication.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, and it was mixing it up. It was, not nothing crazy bad. I didn't feel like now we have experienced some kind of nasty stuff.
Yeah.
The following time that Riley and I were there by ourselves, I mean, there was some poltergeist activity going on. There was some things being thrown. And the funny thing about it was this time when we went, the object that I feel 90% sure, hey, I'd even say 98. I feel like it was the object that I felt was thrown. It was there on the floor in between the seats, like I had talked about. Robbie found it when we went up there, and it kind of blew my mind. I picked up. It was like I don't know, probably a 7 or 8 foot long wood pole with a metal hook on the end. I picked it up and I threw it into the chairs, and it made the exact sound, not as loud, but that Riley and I heard.
Yeah.
And that night when we were there, when we heard that sound, it sent chills up your spine. But it also it came through the spirit box. It said, "Do you believe me now?" Because we were hunching it on to like, hey man, if you're here, prove it, show us, do something.
Yeah.
And it did.
That's great.
But
that place has spirits for sure.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Right, no doubt.
I just hate it when and that's the fear. It's not really a fear. Riley and I talk about it all the time that, we love to take people who are investigators like we are, and people who don't believe and show them that, hey man, let me just show, I can take you somewhere and show you better than I can tell you. Yeah. And that's the fear you have when you take people somewhere that's been so active, and then when you get a crowd and you go and it's like, oh God, it's nothing, so it kind of hurts your feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more comfortable with y'all.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Sounds like we need to go back this weekend by ourselves then.
We can do that. Or we can go or we can go to that old jail in Kinston.
Well, the thing about Granger, we're not giving up on it by no means. But the thing about Granger also is it's so big, it's so much room to cover. You'd almost need to go in there and set up cameras.
Yeah.
If you won't have a lot of people, just go ahead and set up cameras everywhere,
and
hopefully you wouldn't miss anything. That's the good part about having multiple people there. With during the count, we split up a little bit. Robbie went up in the balcony, and he was getting some activity in the balcony.
Yeah.
But the shadow figures is pretty cool because that is something I've never seen there, me personally. Now Halo she saw a figure one time, and I didn't, and I apologized to her already. I didn't believe her when we were there one time until I walked. I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk down here where you just saw it. And when I got just about where I could see around the corner where she had seen something peeking out of, I heard footsteps running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not running. Let me take that back. It wasn't running, but we heard footsteps, and they were going away from us,
Yeah.
but we didn't see anything. So I was like, I'm sorry. There definitely was something going on,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
wanted her to see it. She was able to see it. I couldn't.
Yeah. And she
Angel
definitely is
just said,
intuitive.
yeah, Angel just said he saw a shadow figure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a really
I
cool
believe it.
place. Lots of history, and like I said, we have not really. When I say we've built it up, we have built it up. Everybody in Kinston already has not everybody, but people know the place is haunted. But we, Dylan, myself, Halo, and Riley, we build it up because we have experienced it. So and we want other people to experience it, and when it doesn't, it just kind of hurts your feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, that place has got something, and it wanted me there. I was bummed out when I couldn't come, but I know eventually that I'll be there. The fact that I
Oh
had
yeah,
that vision, it tells me
Yeah.
that, oh, I'll get to go one day. And speaking of investigations, just to go ahead and get this out of the way, I
yeah.
finally have made it almost to the end of my video for Bobby
Sweet,
Mackey's.
sweet.
Yeah, so
Awesome,
I was supposed to
Cassidy.
do it last weekend, but then I got terribly ill. I had to go to the ER and all that kind of crap. So, but now, yeah, so I've been working on that tonight. I finally feel like a person today. Uh, so I'm excited to get that out finally. I don't know. I want to do a premiere, but honestly, being a smaller channel, I don't know if that will hurt me to do a premiere. But if I'm going to decide either way, Friday 9 o'clock, no ifs ands or buts, I'll have to literally something else is going to have to happen for this video not to come out because I'm so close to being done. Knock on wood. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but
I
next
know it's gonna
week
be good.
we got something really cool coming up. So for me, it'll be the next video on our Appalachian Nightmare. We're going to drum roll. Riley, you want to give us the deets?
Heck yeah. We're going to go out to, is it Radford, Virginia?
Radford, Virginia.
Yeah.
Did that place on the screen right there?
To St. Albans Sanatorium.
Yep. Never been. I think Angel has been.
Yeah.
But none of us have been. And we've heard nothing but really cool things about it. I've talked to other paranormal teams about it, and saying, hey guys, if you had one place you could go right now, and you'd get some communication, where would you go? Not even a hesitation. They said St. Albans. So I guess we'll get to experience what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have stayed completely clean of information. So pretty much, I don't know. I mean, I know it's a sanatorium, but it's going to be kind of like Henry River Mill for me. So I'm not. I see there's information there, and if y'all want to talk about more of the details, I'll go ahead and hop off and maybe go backstage and come back on. You feel free, but I'm just super excited. I plan on doing a pre-channeling, and then we got an 8-hour investigation, so I've got to get better for this.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
We don't know any of the history of the place, and I'm kind of like you. We're gonna go in it blind too, and just see what we get, and just see. I like the idea. I like how you attack it. I like the fact that you don't want to know anything. You want to make your own judgment, and not feed anything in your mind before you get there. I like that because it's so easy to start building up. How things are going to go.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, it's always fresh. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yep, and we'll be joined, so it'll be Down South Supernatural. So Greg and Riley have set this up for us this time. They're kind of the host of the evening, and then me and B, so our Appalachian Nightmare, Brittany and Ethan, Angel and his wife. I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
his wife can't go.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh
Ruth's gonna
no.
go, so it'll just be
That's
Angel.
understandable. All right. And I think Halo's coming and
Yeah,
we're trying to, is that it for now? Or are we getting some other folks?
Dylan was going to go, and he couldn't get off work. So I think right now we may have 8 with Halo. Is that right? I need to
yeah,
recount. I think
7 or 8.
so. We're still a few short.
We are still currently looking for a few more to go with us to St. Albans.
And it ain't gonna be a deal breaker if we don't. We'll make it
Yeah,
work. That's not a big deal. But if we're hoping to get Robbie to go, and he's has other things going on. Robbie, he's actually engaged, so he's got a wedding coming up pretty soon.
yeah,
Oh, congrats. Yeah, that's right. That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot planning a wedding. I actually have a wedding in October. I'm the wedding planner for, so we had to move around some things. I'm not going to say why because I don't know. We hadn't announced it yet, but
Uh,
um
don't worry, sister. I'm itching at the bit to announce it. But yeah, what we are locked down for October the 9th to investigate Brushy Mountain Penitentiary overnight from dusk to dawn.
tits.
So Riley and I have been there. We went there last October. Now we went during the day. We just showed up and did our own thing, and we
I just got chills from thinking about the feelings I got in that place.
yeah, that place is it's one of those places when you walk in the door. You've heard us say it before. You feel that weight.
Do you see that crap?
I ain't staring at your arm, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
Get out of here.
Yeah, take that stuff somewhere else. It was one of those places when we walked back out of the gate of that prison, out the main gate.
It was
Of course,
like,
we prayed several times on the way out that nothing comes with us for sure. But it was one of those things when I sit down in the car.
you were like, thank God.
No, well, I was thinking, God, we made it out. No,
Yeah.
no, it ain't that bad. Don't get me wrong. But I did. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. When we sit in the car, I looked in the rearview mirror to see if anybody else was sitting in there.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I just feel like somebody's in the back seat. What's going on? But we were there, and we got EVPs like crazy. We took small equipment with us, but mostly EVPs, and we got full on conversations in a cell and in a hallway and in the cafeteria. And he and I were the only ones there. I mean, it'll blow your mind.
And down in the hall where they sent the bad inmate.
Yeah, that place is. I can only imagine if it was that active during the day. Hopefully, it won't be like a Civil War battlefield where it shuts off at night. But I just got a feeling that place is going to be highly active when we go.
Yeah, I do too.
And that place is huge, and we got it all to ourselves. That's just crazy thinking about how big it is.
Yeah.
Same thing. I think St. Albans this next week is a lot bigger. I Google mapped it just to kind of get to get in my mind where we were at and what the layout was. That place is bigger than I thought it was also. So yeah.
Oh, Chastity, I need to announce one more thing while you're up here. We might need you for just more than Brushy this fall.
I don't know if she's up here. Oh, she hopped out. Sorry. We lost you. I didn't realize you jumped off. Sorry.
Get back in here, sister.
I think she's here. Hello.
Hey, all right, I'm back. Sorry. Can y'all hear me?
We hear you now. I didn't even realize you were gone. Sorry.
That's okay. The screen's small, but can y'all you might need a mod coming in here. Do you mind making me a mod? If you click on my name in the chat, it might be able to let you do it. If not, check the chat out. Keep an eye on it, just as a heads up, and I'll leave that there to get my drift. You're waiting. You're headed for it.
I don't know how to do that. I do. I clicked on your. I did. Hold on. Hold.
Yeah, if you click on either our Appalachian Nightmare, Luminary, Luna Beams, you can say add as moderator normally, or hold it down in the comments.
Well, it popped. Oh, it put your name up there. Ooh, Nice. I didn't know it would do that.
Yeah.
No, it won't let me do the mod. I don't know. There's
Well, just check
a
the
few dots there.
comments.
I probably have to do it on my phone.
Yeah, it's cool. Just keep an eye on it. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, we'll get that figured out. So what you got in mind for the fall?
What the hell does that mean? Feed the parasite. What does that mean? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Feed what parasite?
If you click on the names, you can mute people or time them out. But you might have to do it from. Yeah, you might have to do it from your actual YouTube. I'm not sure about it.
I don't know what that means, but we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chastity, like I was saying, we may need you and V for one or two more investigations we got in mind for the fall.
That would be awesome.
When it cools off outside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. We can talk about it. I'm willing to do as much as I can, and my body will let me because I'm in it to win it.
We're going to go check out we're going to take a charter boat to the Fort Smith Island that was abandoned. It was a whole island-like community with, I think it may have had a few stores on it and a whole civilization of houses on it. And,
that's wild.
And the Union Army took over that island back in the Civil War and burnt down the hospital, I think, and one of the main stores on the island. Just totally took it over, and I guess everybody who was alive fled the island.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down.
That'd be a cool place, and the state of North Carolina is taking that island over, and they've turned it into a state park. So you get a ferry ride or a private boat. You can go over there, but there's no charge. They let you camp right out on the beach, right on the ocean.
I got a tent.
Yeah,
I got a portable fan for my tail, so I'm good.
I just think it'd be a cool adventure, and
yeah,
we can make a redneck air conditioner.
Yeah,
yeah,
sounds awesome to me.
Yeah, and
that was a weird comment. I just so anybody else may know what you were talking about. I'm terrible at reading the comments. I don't know what that was all about, but anyway, I deleted and removed, so it did let me do that. So
what was it about?
I don't understand it, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Okay. I can't tell you what I don't understand. But anyway, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else I don't understand for everybody watching. Last week or the week before, this down south shirt, we got a bunch of them. I said anybody message Riley, send him your address. We'd send you a free T-shirt. Guess how many people we got?
0.
Not one person took us up on that. So I'll say it again tonight. Anybody want a free down south T-shirt? We need to get them out there and get people wearing them. Well, see, some people might be a little scared of it.
Yeah, that is a werewolf skull.
It's a werewolf skull. It doesn't really. I mean, it's not as quite as evil. I don't think as it may appear to be. But anyway, it's a cool shirt, and we're giving them away. So what's the deal? Yeah, Dylan, I would like to make you a moderator. Sadly, I got to figure it out. I don't know how to do it.
I can do it, Dylan.
So yeah,
I just got the TikTok live going right now. I have to do it in a little bit.
Oh, Chastity, we lost you again. Daggone it. Sorry.
Wait.
That's twice.
She's still up there.
Yeah, but she was gone up here.
Oh,
yeah.
Crap.
Sorry.
That's my fault. No, it's my fault because I'm looking at the chat on my phone and on my tablet, and I keep hitting the wrong button. But I'm telling you, the antibiotics they had me on, I had that severe side effect, so my brain is like kind of. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm getting old, guys. I can still talk to dead people really well. I just.
No, we were saying we couldn't get nobody to take us up last week on this free offer for these free comfort color T-shirt.
Yeah, guys, y'all really should
Nobody
reach
messes
out.
it. Yeah, I
And
mean, look,
definitely, they've got an
I-
Instagram and they've got a Facebook. So message Riley, guys, and get a free Down South t-shirt and then tag them on Facebook or Instagram and help get the
yeah,
word
Yeah.
out.
that's right.
I
Absolutely.
mean, we're still growing, and this 2025 year,
What 2025, man?
or
Don't rush the year. Jesus
and
Christ, man.
the
Time flies.
rest of this year and the coming new year, we're going to really be trying to push our growth with YouTube and get it going.
Yep.
We need. I'm good with editing videos now and getting them uploaded. So
You're doing good with the little shorts, but
yeah,
all the what I call the really cool stuff, was just sitting there still. We lied. We said we were going to be
yeah,
moving on it, and we fizzled out like we
we
always do.
suck.
We just suck.
Now, it's just a lot. I mean, it's a lot. Y'all see, guys, if y'all don't know, they do investigations almost every week. And, Greg, you work full time. It's a lot,
It
so give
is.
yourself a little grace.
You could spend all the time you wanted on the editing part. So I know you working on your stuff for Bobby Mackey's. People don't understand the time that you put into something to make it come out the way you did the last video from Henry River. I mean,
Yeah,
there's nothing on TV you're going to see that's any better than what you did with that. And
yeah,
those
Well,
people
wait,
who are doing that for a living.
right. And I appreciate that. And I do have to say that this video is set up a little different. I get into I just did the whole video in a different style. This video is going to blow the socks off Henry River Mill, even though the evidence was, I mean, what we captured at Henry River Mill Village, I don't know why the big YouTubers aren't going there.
I don't know.
yeah,
Like, they're insane. I've even made it, like, I sent my picture in to Kelsey Davies, which is the largest paranormal female YouTuber on YouTube. She has the
Okay.
largest following. She's got 2.5 million followers, and I sent the picture
holy
of that
crap.
man. The
Yeah,
shadow that Greg and Riley captured that night, I got the same shadow, but it wasn't a shadow. It was a full body apparition of a man, and he looked like he was from the war.
Yeah.
And he has no arm, guys. Like, and Kelsey Davies, you can go. She did like a video, and I think mine is 29 minutes in, and it was about a month back, and it's called reacting to your ghost photos or something. You can go look it up. And she actually, well, whoever does her stuff, they actually put it in there. And she's like, oh my God, it looks like he doesn't have an arm. So if you watched Henry River Mill
Yeah.
Village, you'll see at the
yeah,
beginning that, or you'll see even in the lives before that me and Down South did, that I was talking about seeing a man with no arm. And when we got there, I saw him in the window, and then we captured a picture of him. So the connection between before we went, when we got there, and I just so happened to snap those like 5 or 6 consecutive photos. That kind of stuff don't really happen, guys.
yeah. It really
And guess
don't.
what? If y'all have seen the hook or it's the trailer, but it's also called a hook. If you've seen the hook for Bobby Mackey's, guess what? We did it again, and I can't make this shit up. So
That's right.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
you
mean,
can't.
you can, but I don't. And, I know a lot of people here that watch our content, they very much believe in what we do, but I'm kind of fearful to a point because, it's not fear. It's more like, like, well, I know it's coming. Somebody's gonna be like, well, that's not big. And tech with that. Because after so long, like, I've always attracted paranormal activity. I'm not trying to say I'm this, that, or the other. It's just, it's facts. I've always attracted paranormal activity. And I never knew going to these places we would get, and it doesn't always seem like when you're there. We got quite a bit of good things coming out of Bobby Mackey's. Like, our Estes session was wild. Well, Greg's was. Mine was kind
Yeah,
of crappy. They don't really want to talk to me like that. But for me to have, yeah, my guardians came in because V turned the lights out and we had night vision, right? And he turned the
Yeah.
lights out just for a little bit. And some of the things we captured, yeah, are light refractions, but I've made very sure of what I went through. I went to school for graphic arts and imaging technologies. I can
yeah,
kind of tell the difference between an orb and a dust. I can tell the difference between an artifact, a light artifact, and not. So I mean, for the most part, and if I can't 100% validate it, but I feel like it's something, I'll at least say it's possible. So I mean, just
yeah,
I'm looking forward to what's to come. Like, I've been trying to manifest this for a long time, and I'm super excited. You know, it's just something I didn't think was going to happen so soon. That's why I started Our Appalachian Nightmare 1 year prior to starting, like, launching the channel. That's when Spirit literally almost woke me up out of a dead sleep with his name and said, grab all the tags you can, get the email, get the Google account so you can get the YouTube. And almost literally 1 year to the date, like, it was on the 9th of May when I created it, and it on 2023, and in the 10th of May 2024 I launched the channel. So
Wow.
everything happens for a reason. Like,
Yeah,
and it's not just about me, it's about everybody involved here. So I think we got something special between all of us. We all bring something uniquely to an investigation, and that's just my personal opinion.
Oh, I totally agree. We've said that before. It's just well, exactly what you said. It's just, we're different. I mean, really, we're different, and that's good. Different is good. But we all bring a little bit of something to the table, and that's what a team does. A team of everybody that's a team full of shortstops in baseball is not a good team.
Yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
some of everybody. You can't have 9 superstars on the field.
Yeah.
Everybody will
Right.
contribute in their own way, and that's what makes us good.
I agree. So I definitely look forward to continuing investigations as long as I possibly can, you know, because it's just, I feel like it's something I'm meant to do. You know, even though I do the love and light side of things, what brought me into this, not even by my choice, was the paranormal activity. So, I mean, and that, I mean, I've dealt with it most of my life, and we all are brought into it for some reason.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I mean, just think about it. We got Brittany and Ethan now. I mean, heck, I didn't realize there were so many people out there who love it as good as we do. You know, we never met them until Bobby Mackey's, and it was like, how can you not like them?
Yeah.
And and they love it, man. It's cool to see other people who like what you do. And
Yeah.
and then we got Angel. I mean,
Yeah.
he's awesome, and I hope you get to meet Ruth one day because she's just as cool as Angel is. And then now we're kind of getting hooked up with Robbie a little bit, and it's just cool to see people would share the same love of things, and they all have a different perspective on it. Me and Riley kind of do our thing. Dylan, and when Dylan's able to come, we kind of all do something different.
Yeah.
You know, Angel, he's good at what he does, and
Absolutely.
just like Robbie the other night. I mean, Robbie, you'll see that Robbie's the same way. We all just do things a little different, and that's cool. I feel like if we get into communication, we're all getting it from a different angle.
I agree with that. Everybody that I've met in person or even on the live, I really enjoy being around, and I do agree with 100% what you said. So everything happens for a reason, and excited to see what we get, what the future holds. I know every investigation isn't going to be like Bobby Mackey's or Henry River Mill, but I do believe bringing certain aspects to this, it's always going to make it a level or a step above. That was my purpose, and the more I do these videos, and with anybody, the more I do this, I think the more I personally will be able to bring to this unit here. With like my channeling and stuff, because I have the capability to go so much deeper. It's just me getting comfortable going places and doing it. I'm just used to doing it from my house.
Right.
In my safe space, like it's a safe space. And when I get out there, that's when you're out in the field, just for those that may be sensitive that are listening, when you're in your space, you're good. There's, you're going to experience it one way, but when you go out into the field, you're getting all the experiences, including the pains. If you're an intuitive or a psychic and you have if you have any clair abilities, specifically being clairsentient, like Bobby Mackey's hurt. It physically hurt me to be in that building. It was not easy. And I had to, it felt like my chest, it was crushing my chest. It was crazy. And then pains in my shoulders, like I was getting stabbed. And sometimes I have that happen when I look into places. Like I've had my jaw literally feel like somebody stuck their finger in it and hooked my jaw. Like sometimes, like dealing with the paranormal is not easy. And I'm not trying to be an asshole when I say this, but not everybody's meant to deal with the paranormal.
Yeah.
No.
It takes strong.
Yeah. like I wasn't complaining that night, but the whole time since I walked in the building, it was nonstop
We're at.
stomach pain at Bobby Mackey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it to you, but nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was tough. And the EMF in there, you know, I'm not 100% sold on it being paranormal activity. Those power lines. But you know what? Standing outside, I say this, those power lines are literally right in front of the building. Standing outside, I didn't really get any of those feelings. So maybe it is the building because, I mean,
Yeah,
the EMF in that whole entire building in the front half was yellow consistently. It
Yeah.
did not change. And high
That's the
EMF
first
can,
time I've been anywhere like that.
yeah,
All the
yeah,
places we've been. Well, let me say that's the first place I've ever been, and actually we noticed it. I don't
yeah.
think we've been anywhere like that.
I have no
I know I haven't.
regrets about going to Bobby Mackey's, you know, and I'm thankful for everybody that helped me get there. And it wasn't just about Bobby Mackey's, it was also about my client Beth. And we were able to get to the bottom of some things, and it just makes so much of a difference. I can help people from afar, but and that goes for clients because I want our Appalachian Nightmare. I want to do in home visits too, kind of like Paranormal Nightmare. And I didn't even correlate that until now. The Foreman brothers, like, I want to help people and go into their house because I can help people so much over the phone, and it does. It helps people, but being
yeah,
there makes a complete difference, like the work that y'all do.
yeah,
So it's exciting. It's exciting times. I know a lot of people right now are struggling, you know,
Yeah.
and I want to clear something up, like speaking directly from the heart right now. I'm sure some people are thinking just because we went, well, I say we, but at least speaking for myself, going to Bobby Mackey's, they talk about how things can follow you home and, you know, just a dark cloud looming over your head. Well, everything that's happened to me over the last month since I've been to Bobby Mackey's, I don't think has anything to do with Bobby Mackey's because, like my mom, that kind of stuff, you're taking away, you know, God's plan when you give power over something that's much lower to be able to do something. Like my mom was sick for a long time. I just never talked about it. And then my
Right.
issue with my tooth, I've had that going on for a year. If anything, in astrology, Saturn is in retrograde. Saturn is daddy satty. It is like father time. It rules regulations. And like it's like a dad, like telling you what to do. Well, when Saturn's in retrograde, everything you didn't take care of comes back around and kicks your ass like dad
Mhm.
does. So just to be putting that out there, you know, I don't know. It's just something I've thought, and I've had somebody say something, and not in a negative way, not any drama or nothing, but you
yeah,
know, it's not Bobby Mackey's. Is that place tough? Yeah, I had somebody tell me on TikTok that, and then you're going to get comments. I don't care. Comments are comments. I really don't. But they said this is overly dramatic. I'm like, yeah, it's a hook. It's supposed to be dramatic to catch your attention, but you can't underestimate the spirits that were in that building.
yeah,
No, that's right.
That those spirits there, they meant business. If we had more time there in that basement, it got so dark I didn't even finish my challenge because I could have pushed those limits, but I have respect because, you know, the things like that, I was told not to bring anything back from that place. Granted, I am wearing the Bobby Mackey shirt right now, but you sure as hell best believe I blessed it.
Man, we
You
didn't think about
know,
that. You should have blessed
yeah.
yours.
Just washing it is even a good, you know, washing the shirt's probably good enough, but at the same time, it's just, you know, the paranormal can
oh
get you in a
God,
place
it's in
and
my room too.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing something growl at night.
Uh, probably that damn thing that was coming through the spirit box when you were doing the Estes method.
No, that hindsight thing about that when you dropped that video, we were doing the Estes and it was just, man, it was channeling through my ears without a doubt. And that's not the first time that's happened with me. But hindsight, I didn't give up, but my instinct was, dude, I've heard enough of this crap because it was like really getting in my head pretty good. So we stopped. But now in hindsight, I wish I'd have went a little bit further.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Riley asked for the smoke and he sure did get some, and that's all I'm going to
yeah,
say about that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Y'all seen it in the hook. But
He wants
yes,
to smoke.
and he got it. And when you watch the
Yeah.
video of that situation, the progression of what happens is almost all the way uncut. Of course, I cut out some longer like silences, but not with your Estes. I did keep that in because that the evidence that we get there is uncanny. And the whole thing about the light, there's even more that's added on to that when you watch the progression of the video because of some things like, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but there is a progression to this video. If you pay close enough attention, it is full-fledged communication. Now, sure, there's other spirits tapping in, but the portal box, most people may know or they may not know, it's basically just the radio stations and it sweeps through, and the portal box cuts out that static for the most part that you hear. That's kind of annoying sometimes. There's no pre-programmed words in this portal box. Ethan's voice came through. Ethan, that come with us, guys that are listening right now. His voice came through this portal box. Guess what? My voice came through that portal box at Henry River Mill. And while his voice came through that portal box, Ethan was down in the basement.
Didn't they call my name? Whose name is it? One of us has got our name called there too.
Where
At Bobby Mackey's.
me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and same thing happened at Granger.
What? No, it called your name.
It called my name. That's right.
Bobby Mackey.
Yeah, it had my number.
Wow.
But that, and we got a little bit up until then, but it was very active in the basement for sure.
No, like
Yeah.
Chastity. It didn't just say his first name like Greg. It said full everything, Gregory.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
It was just wild, and I was like, that's not fair. You know my name. What's your name? We never could get a name.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it would
speaking of
just
that,
say F you.
Yeah.
and there was a lot of that going on too. But just like the Estes part of it, and it is good to know that it was coming. The words were coming really quick, but there was a lot of pauses in there where nothing was going on. So it's not like.
Didn't you even say there was a daggone growling?
Oh, toward the end was the growl. It was bone chilling. The growl that I heard. I mean, I couldn't really make it sound like it, but it was deep and heavy.
Was it like line material type?
No, not even like that. It was like
dark.
very dark, very dark.
Yeah, I
Very
believe it.
Not like an animal. It was just very dark. Like I'm not even thinking about a movie. I just know that when I started hearing it and it sounded like it was coming on to me, like really close, I pulled the headphones off.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
What really blowed my mind is, y'all, just so you know, I probably went a month before I looked at the video on my phone of that Estes. I struggled with the nerve to, not really the nerve. I did not realize that the questions, because I don't hear the questions, but I didn't realize the questions, some of it, the responses were so dead on that it'll freak you out a little bit.
Yeah. And you had no clue that they were that dead on because you couldn't hear a damn word we were saying.
Yeah, I had no clue.
I even remember after V turned the light off, Chastity, you asked Dad while he had the headphones on listening to the spirit box, do you like it? How do you like the dark? And it said, I prefer the dark or something like that.
It did. It took the words right out of your mouth. It really did, because watching back the video, it did. It said, because, yeah, he said the dark is better. And that's when V turned off the light.
Dark is better. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. And in the dark, guys, you're going to see me because I physically start to, or I psychically start to see, because it's pitch black. I can't see nothing but a couple little lights on the devices that are like red or green. And I say to Riley, I said, it's standing right beside of you. And then you're going to see what happens in the video. So it's pretty interesting, the basement. And this is what I've got to add at the end of the video. I'm going to add, one thing I realized I did not do in the video was tell everybody what I was exactly seeing psychically. And it matches what I saw playing with the cat ball upstairs. And people can believe me if they want. I'm going to tell my experience with this. Like, there is something there that is very dark. And I start picking up on that even before we do the Estes session. So the progression of this video is fantastic. I could not ask for a better investigation. Once all the clues, it's like playing it's like playing Scooby Doo here. Okay, once all the clues start coming together, it makes a lot of sense. And my goal going there was to try to figure out what is there haunting this place, because it's gone. Like, it might still be there, but you can't go in. And I want to give my opinion of what's haunting this place. And I'm super excited to see what Nick Groff gets. And I really want to compare notes to Nick Groff's video.
Yeah.
So Angel said at Granger he heard your name on Spirit Box.
Mine.
And Riley's kind of an unusual name. Another thing about the Spirit Box people need to know, most of the time, most Spirit Boxes are, when they're scanning radio stations, are scanning them in reverse. So when you get a word through one in real time speed, just know that it's in reverse. It's not going forward where it pulls that out of the air.
Yeah.
On ours anyway.
Yeah. What Angel developed is very, very interesting. And I mean, I don't know hardly anything about it. I just have basic knowledge. And so whatever it's coming through, and I've noticed that for the last 2 times, there's some similar voices too. And now they're not all similar, but there's a couple spirits, I think, that kind of tag along and follow this box. There's a belief in, within, I guess you say, my culture here. I don't know what else to call it, but like for a tarot deck or an oracle deck, when somebody creates something like that, sometimes there's a spirit assigned to that deck that helps, but also it can be us that manipulate. Of course, we can manipulate those cards. I do those types of readings. I mean, I do regular intuitive readings without them, but cards have like spirits attached to them. I wonder if this box has a couple spirits that kind of follow it around, because one thing people need to understand is just because you're talking to the spirit in that location doesn't mean they even have to be in that location. I mean, these spirits can, depending on their strength and their level, they can tap into this frequency, and they don't even have to be in the same room, just so everybody's aware of that. And that's just my personal belief, and for what I've been told by spirit, like divine spirit. Because, I say spirit a lot. I don't mean, I don't converse unless I'm in a paranormal place or I'm doing a paranormal type of situation, like a session or something. I don't converse with dark spirits. So I only do that when it's necessary.
So look at the comment Angel just said to you, Chastity.
Let me see. Sorry, I have to pull it up. Oh, well, it might be V, because he wants to ask Greg a question, but it could have been a woman, but V was talking about a minute and a half ago. So I don't know how long you heard that ago, Angel, but he wanted to ask Greg what, if there was any visions that were coming through, like in your mind when you had the headphones on during the Estes session. Did you see anything visually while you were doing the Estes session?
To say no would probably be a lie, but what I saw, I don't know if it was my imagination or I was really seeing it. That's why I'm a little bit confused. But it was dark. It was like 3 shadows. Let me say one shadow. I felt like there was one shadow over me.
Yeah.
And what got my attention more was there was a part in it where it felt like, I talk about Halo being played like a puppet at Granger one time we were there, but I also feel like it reminded me if something was playing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because what got me, the succession of the voices coming through were getting faster and faster. They want the big gaps in between.
Yeah.
It felt, and I don't know if it come out that way, but that's how it felt to me. But toward the end, I heard a really delirious laugh. Laughing. I said laughing. I remember I said laughing in the video.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it wasn't a normal laugh. It was I don't know. It was just
sinister.
It was It was weird. It was like something. It wasn't a normal conversation laugh. Okay.
Okay.
Sound like one of them daggum scary movies laughs.
So what you were seeing was very similar to what I was seeing. with my eyes open. So you may want to trust that when you're under these Estes sessions, because Greg, you're
Chilling.
cutting off all your physical senses when you do this. So you're tapping in. We all have the ability to perceive information. We're just perceiving energy. We all have these psychic senses. It's just not everybody's going to use them at the same level for the same purpose, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But just to let you know, what I saw during this time, there was a big, large, dark shadow that come in after I saw these people that were all white skinned. They look like people, but they were losing their gender. They lost their hair. They looked like kind of like a rake, like the one of the shirts we made for our Appalachian Nightmare. They kind
Yeah.
of looked like that. And then there was this really dark, like oblong shadow person. Well, V saying he saw it looking like stringy, because in the video, V asked me. Well, that makes sense, because V asked me in the video, or when we were at Bobby Mackey's, he's like, do you see that? And I said, of course I do. Like, it was freaky. He saw it with strings attached to it, which makes sense, because I feel like these like people that were once human souls, or still are, but they're kind of descending. They're the puppets. They're the ones that kind of crawled in on the floor
Oh yeah.
and were like
Yeah.
crawling around. So what you were seeing and experiencing was also what we were experiencing without even communicating. So guys, if you're watching this live, you're getting a big in-depth look at this Bobby Mackey video that's about to come out, because that's
So the
exactly
growl, the growl, and I'll say this. I know some people won't believe me. I guess you had to be there, but
Yeah.
toward the end when the growl started, but it took me. It sounded like a growl coming out of a long, long tunnel. I heard it coming. Does this make sense? I heard it coming, getting closer
Yeah.
to me and louder. It was like it went on for about 20 seconds, but it took me up until probably 5 or 10 seconds before I pulled them headphones off to realize it was on me. And it was so deep and so loud that I almost felt like I felt the breath off of whatever it was doing it. I may have felt it, but I told myself I didn't. But it felt like it was standing right over me.
Yeah. And that's when we capture this anomaly. I mean,
Yeah.
partly it's very close. Like, there were things moving around the room. Now, if with the IR camera or the infrared camera, night vision, whatever you want to call it, like, it picks up a lot of dust. But there's some things on this night vision camera that are not just dust. Like, we
Yeah.
caught some craziness. And you'll see, Greg, I caught something very close to you at the beginning, right before you even sat down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was definitely something there. It will not come to you when those lights are on, but when you turn those lights off, that's where it comes.
Yeah, you asked for the smoke. We got it.
Yeah. And after he heard the growl, and then y'all turned the lights off, remember you said something hopped in the floor beside me? And that's exactly when the daggone flux light, the detector went off. That was sitting right on the floor at my feet.
Yeah.
Right when you said something just hopped in the floor beside you, Riley.
Yep.
Then the flux went off right at my foot.
Yep. It definitely did. And so, I mean, ultimately, I've seen people go into Bobby Mackey's and it's not really that exciting. And this is our video. Okay. I may be a little biased or partial to it. I've never seen this type of activity in any other Bobby Mackey video I've ever seen.
I think but see, we all knew, and we've said it. We knew it was going to get very interesting with you because of the light you're putting off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you woke things up. Something about that basement.
Yeah. And another thing about the whole light you're talking about, there's a progression through the video. So guys that are watching now, and when you watch this video, if you choose to watch it, you'll pay attention to when I start talking about the light, and watch how that progresses, because it's a 5-part investigation. It starts out with the creepy corner, then we go to the monster room, which is where Carl Lawson had his deliverance. Then we go down into the room of faces in the basement. Then I do the dressing room, so Johanna's room, and then I do the portal to hell. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys now, the dressing room and the portal to hell, they have a couple interesting things that happen, but they're very short because we run out of time, because we spend time on
Yeah.
our investigations. Like, we're not just hopping around back and forth. We actually spend quality time in each part. Yeah, so I mean, the video should be probably about an hour and 15 minutes long, but it's worth a watch. And I'm not just saying that because it's, our video. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's some crazy shit.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
we
super
haven't
super
done a lot of
excited.
talking about it. We haven't.
We
We
really
talked
have.
about it just a little bit, but we were like, no, let's just wait for that
Yeah,
video, and it'll. So we haven't given a lot away, or Riley and I haven't. So we're just as excited as everybody else is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Yeah.
bring it to you guys. Shit, I'm gonna even watch my own video once it comes out. Okay, I'm excited to watch it, and I'm the one that edited it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just something really cool. I'm glad I met you guys, like, and
Yeah,
that we're doing this together.
same.
Um, yeah, and I'm happy to have everybody and to meet everybody else along the way too. It's been really fantastic. Um, and I'm grateful for that. But, leading all the way back around to the beginning of this conversation, the paranormal it can be very anything from a nice, friendly, earthbound spirit that really don't mean any harm, all the way to something very dark. And when you act and do things, or you do things and you're already low vibrational, like this woman from the Conjuring house, and you start conversing with spirits on a spirit box, they'll chew you up and spit you out really fast. I don't
Yeah.
promote fear mongering. I don't promote that. I'm not fear mongering when I say this. I'm telling you my experiences. I've had people call, particularly, I guess, what me and Emily do with Lights of Midnight fear mongering. No, people actually have these negative experiences. And unless you're a person that has had these negative experiences, you will not understand. I mean, there's a lot of great benevolent beings out here, that want to help us and stuff, but that comes from internal connection. But I think both of you guys, the reason y'all do what you do, and I've said this before, y'all both have certain intuitive qualities about you, and I'm excited to see how that's going to develop, because people that, I mean, this is not me trying to say I'm all whatever, but people that hang around me generally start to become more intuitive. And I don't know, I guess it's because of what I do, it's part of my path. So I'm excited to see, because Greg, if you saw that, and I thank you, V, for bringing that up. He's sitting here next to me listening in his headphones to the replay, but he's a little behind. But that's cool. That's really
Yeah,
cool. So yeah, any way that
Yeah.
I can make it possible for this coming October or this fall for us to go, I'm in like Flint.
I hope you can make it possible to go to Brushy.
Oh, that's I'm doing everything I can. We talked about that privately, and if all my duckies line up like they should, I'll do whatever I have to do to make it to Brushy.
yeah,
I'll sell feet
Yeah.
we're
pics.
going.
I was joking. That was the inside joke. We're going to sell feet pics on OnlyFans. So
Yeah.
Well, it'll be an oddball night, but that won't change the experience that we have. So
Yeah.
no,
when I say
no,
it's an
not at
oddball
all.
night, it's just another night. It doesn't matter whether it's a weekend or not. So who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in that prison wants to smoke from me.
Here we go, y'all.
They are
You heard it here first.
they've
Yeah.
already done they already made me feel like a little biatch that first day I went in there a few years
You about to
ago.
get pulled in a cell. Your ass is about to get locked in a cell real fast. You want that smoke? They're gonna give it to you.
uh-uh.
I
I'm
will
just
tread
picking.
cautious in this place. Not really cautious. We'll do our thing, but there's a guy I watched a video or I started watching it and I had to quit. His name is a father and son paranormal investigators. Cowan. That's their last names. Josh. Maybe not. Now, see, I shouldn't have said anything because I don't know their name. But he did a investigation there at Brushy Mountain by himself overnight,
Really?
and
Hmm.
and you need to watch it. I guess I should get my facts straight first. I will find his name. I guess I need to watch the whole video. I watched some of it, and he was experiencing some things that me and you did.
Really?
Except he was by himself in that hole. Can you imagine being in that place by yourself at night?
As big as that place is, God,
Jeez.
no.
Wow.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I've watched a lot about Brushy Mountain, so I'm not going in blind at this place. Like, I've heard of St. Albans, and I've probably seen a video a long time ago. But again, guys, I've been following paranormal activity or paranormal like shows for a long time. That may be why, coming off the bat, just starting out with paranormal, I kind of already know what to do because it's just a mimic, really, right? I've watched it, as much time as I put into watching paranormal stuff. But I know for a fact Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary has some really dark things. I went to the West Virginia Penitentiary, and I mean, upon arrival, there was 40 of us on like the after hours tour or whatever for the Paracon, and I'm standing there and I hear a guy in the back, and there's cells back there. Like, this is where they held the most, like, all the gangs and specifically the uh, Aryan Nation, the guys that
Wow.
run that kind of stuff.
Oh
And
yeah.
back
Yeah,
in that section where they kept those folks, I heard somebody take something and rake it across the cells, and he's like, "Here we go, boys." And I looked around at everybody, and I'm like, "Why isn't nobody reacting?" I literally thought somebody was back there. This is when my gifts were developing more, and I was, starting to understand them more. But
yeah,
prisons and asylums are some of the freakiest places, because you got to think about it. The energetic resonance and the energetic imprint, doesn't matter what the material, it's there. You have people that are low vibrational. You have people there that are mentally or criminally insane. What they bring in, their vibration attracts darkness. Now, is everything there going to be dark? No, but you're going to run into your more lower vibrational beings in these types of places. It's layers. I describe it like layers, like a book. And some of these beings have the ability. Some of these beings are ghosts. They're stuck in between the pages. Okay, guys. But some of these
Right.
beings are strong enough, even descended human spirits, they can just flow right through these layers of time, and they will come just like Greg experienced and Bobby Mackey's. They will come from somewhere else and right through into our dimension, because there's open portals. People create open portals. It's just, they're not just magical. I mean, sometimes it's environmental, but people truly create these portals with our emotions. People do not understand how powerful you really are, and I mean that in a very modest way. Your mind, your thoughts are energy. That's how remote view. It's something that not everybody will do at some point. Some people have dreams. I know
yeah,
that sounds wild, but your thoughts are so powerful about creating your reality. Yes, we're stuck here in Earth School, guys, but we have the power to accomplish so much more. And when we're battling things in our mind, because I know a lot of people right now are,
Right.
honestly, we're having an exit point right now. People are passing left and right, and it's super sad, but there's this massive exit point, and it's causing a lot of ripples in people and stuff. It's bringing down the collective energy. But you have to focus on raising that back up, because when you go in these places, you have to be ready for that too. And even just through life, you attract these types of things. So I know I got on tangent, but I felt it was important to say.
yeah.
So that guy that I was telling you about, the video YouTube is Paranormal Files.
Colin Brown.
Yeah, Colin. Yeah. So he's the one that was in there. You check that out when you get a minute.
Yeah, I am. I definitely will.
I
Yeah,
would like to,
good video.
for
Yeah,
sure.
it's a good video. I mean, it's in depth. I mean, he doesn't have a big crew with him, so I mean, what you're getting is, of course, I'm not saying it hadn't been edited. So anyway,
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't think
absolutely.
it was,
Yeah,
because I say that because some of the things he's experienced, and we were only there about 4 or 5 hours into broad daylight, and we were getting some crazy stuff there.
left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some super exciting things coming up, between, the release, for me at least, and I hope everybody else is, the Bobby Mackey's video, the next week St. Albans, and then
Yeah,
October we got Brushy Mountain. This is all together. I need to try to go at least somewhere else in September for our Appalachian Nightmare, and I'm going to try to fit in the Trivet Clinic. That's where I wanted
oh
to go.
yeah,
So
Chastity.
what's up?
That reminds me another location me and Daddy were talking about. hoping to check out coming up. The Ghost Town in the Sky, Mackey Valley.
Yeah,
We're wanting to check that place out too.
that would be dope. There's so much.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, man. It's was the Paranormal Files what I was thinking about.
Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense then because I've seen that. I've watched almost every one of his he was like one of my first favorite paranormal YouTubers when I switched to YouTube World like 6 or 7 years ago. But um yeah, super excited. Brushy Mountain's a bucket list. I mean, there's so many places around us. Like Gettysburg or whatever. Gettysburg is definitely a place. Newmarket, Virginia. We could just go stay at the Days Inn that I went to when I was going to Connecticut to meet Annabelle. I had the wildest paranormal experience there, and I didn't know when we stopped over to stay that the Days Inn was literally right next to the Civil War Museum. So
Oh
guess
wow.
what happened to me? Yeah, that whole entire place around us, everywhere has spirits. It's just some places are a little darker than others.
Right.
Yeah.
So I finally found that phone that was dinging. I've been looking for it for about an hour. Sorry about that, y'all.
It's okay.
Lost
Oh my
door
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, Chastity.
What's
Chastity.
up?
You don't have to say Chastity. She hears you.
Did you lose it in the Golden Arches?
No, not this time. Not this time. It's in my basket, but that has happened.
Like that not on your live?
Yeah, I have had that happen before. But yeah, no, this is my old. I got fortunate to have two phones, and this one was just kept going off, going off, going off. And I'm like, God bless. That's why I keep my phone on silent. There's so many
Yeah.
dings and dongs and this, that, and the other. But yeah, I'm excited. I know I've said that
Oh,
3 times, or 5 times, or 7 times, but I'm happy.
Well, it'll be here next week. It'll be here before you know it.
yeah.
I
Time's
know.
flying. It's flying.
I gotta
So
get her. I gotta get her together here.
Yep, got to get it right.
Yeah. And Chastity.
Quit saying and Chastity.
Sorry.
Just start talking, dude.
Can you believe your favorite equipment tech Angel has worked up another miracle?
What?
Yeah, he's working on a really cool unit.
Okay.
For me.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, he needs one more piece of equipment for me and Dylan to tow.
Yeah.
Just one more. It's fine. It's fine.
That Halo, and I'm not talking about you if you're up here. I told Halo this week, I was like, dude, the only problem I have with you is you don't get involved in toting this equipment. Somebody else has got it. It's beginning to be too much.
Yeah.
I understand. I get it. It's a lot when you get into it. For a place as big as St. Albans, you about need it. So at least we have 8 hours. Our plan is to get there early before the sun sets to get B-roll, and kind of get all that done, and then we'll get it done.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
But that reminds me, that's a good idea, Daddy. If Halo starts carrying equipment, I can buy more.
Oh God, Dylan, you got to hurry up and get your butt back, Dylan.
I hope Angel's ready. I'm gonna put in some orders. I already got 2 in mind.
Oh God, sorry, Angel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's awesome, though. Well, y'all
Angel,
got a lot of cool equipment.
We're talking about getting right for Brushy Mountain. Angel said foot picks are coming in hot.
Yep, we're gonna have to figure something out.
We got time to make it happen. So yeah.
Yes, and if the people getting the foot picks are lucky, they might even get to see a crack pick.
Oh God,
the crack of my toe. That's gonna be it. No, we need to do paranormal feet. Guys, if y'all are listening, we were joking about how we're going to afford all this paranormal stuff, and we're joking about the whole feet pick thing. So what we're going to do, we need to do paranormal feet picks. That's what we need to do. Brushing Mountain feet picks. We can all get in a circle.
Or, Daddy said me and V can start a logging business.
Yeah, I told Riley the other day, we went by a place and there was a logging crew there, and I was like, dude, if V's toes are nails are like Chastity said they are, and I already know you got
Good
the hammer
saw.
toe, because y'all can go into the stump grinding business.
Yeah, between Riley and V, they got this. I think they'll carry the
Yeah.
weight. We need you guys. We really
love
do.
it. I
And
love
that, I
it.
mean, if OnlyFans is our sponsor, then I guess we have to, right? You know, but
Yeah.
no, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. No, but yeah, guys, it's going to be great. Oh my God. Well, you know, we've reached our hour and a half limit when we start talking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry, so we're gonna have to roll.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Well, thank you for having me on as always. Hopefully, the next time I'll be on video and refreshed and feeling much more lively. I feel a lot better today than I have, so I'm thankful for that. And Bobby Mackey's this Friday, 9 o'clock. Like I'm 99.9%. I'm not going to say 100 because I was 100% sure last weekend. 99.9%, 9 o'clock. Bobby Mackey's possibly a premiere. So finally, we're gonna let it fly.
Sweet. Looking
Awesome,
forward to it.
Chastity.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
guys.
Send out a
Well, have
link. Send out a link so we can share it.
Yeah. I'm
All
ready
right.
for that, Chastity.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
All
Will do,
right.
guys. Have a good night. Good night, everybody.
You too, Chastity. Bye.
All right. That was the
All
one and
right,
only Chastity Luna
everybody.
Beams. You'd be prepared. She'll be dropping her Bobby Mackey's video. Will be premiering this Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be on the lookout, because this is going to be a good one. We haven't talked about it a lot. We got into a little bit, but not really the details about how it went down. It was different, to say the least. A lot of people don't experience a lot there. Some have. Some people have lied. It's been scripted, I think. But I can tell you what we dealt with at one part of it was raw, just flat out raw footage, and it was, hey, you can't make that kind of stuff up. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, thank you all for hopping up here tonight. We really do appreciate it. We've enjoyed it. This is the 69th episode we've had, and hey, we appreciate y'all getting up here.
And we love it more and more every week we do it.
Yeah, we do. But this is the part of the night where we go in and get some supper. Good night, Angel. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Again, thank y'all for getting up here. You wanna knock it down for us?
Yeah. And until next week, you can catch us at that Down South out. And TikTok, thank you all for hopping on tonight. We hope you enjoyed, and